Hi, everyone, and welcome to day two of the Intuition Incubator event. And I'm Carolyn Beauchamp, author of Horses to Higher Consciousness Riding the Cosmic Current. And I'm really glad that you're here today. And we had a great day yesterday talking about intuition. And I'm really grateful to everyone who came to hear. And even if you didn't hear, you can go back and hear. If this is your first time in, that would be the first talk, but they'll be there for a while, so you can go in and check it out. So today, we're going to go more into depth of why we don't trust our intuition. That's a big one, right? So, what's what do you think is one of the first reasons that we don't trust our intuition? You can write it in the chat if you want. If anybody's got any ideas. I think everybody really has a good handle on the fact that it's probably our childhood conditioning, right? So we come into this world with our own intuition and our own knowing and feeling, but very, very quickly we're programmed by very well meaning adults and authority figures, and we're these little people. And who are the first people that really influence us, right? Well, that's our mother and father. And our mothers and fathers are very well meaning, and they're just trying to guide us the best they can from what they learned. Unfortunately, they were not necessarily taught in the most unconditional, loving way with support and allowing their child to become who they really are. They're trying to model us from who they feel we should be or who they think we should be, right? So from the very beginning, that's what we learn. So we learn, oh, I I should do this, I should do that. And we hear, don't do this, don't do that. And very quickly we start questioning, well, am I wrong? Am I bad? Am I doing something wrong? Because little children don't know. Who are these adults? They're the people they look up to. They're the parents right away from the time we're little are gods to us, right? We have no idea that we're our own person and that they're really just guides, that they're not some god, but we believe they are. So it's really difficult when we're little to understand this. We can't understand it. So what do we want? We want approval. We want to know I'm okay. So what is it that children usually say right off the bat when they're young, when their parents say, don't do this or don't do that, or you shouldn't do that? Right away they say, am I bad? They right away feel that they've done something wrong, even if they're learning and they're just making a mistake, right? I'm sure you all can relate to that. I know I certainly can. I felt like there was something wrong with me, that I didn't have the approval. I didn't even know what it was called. None of us do when we're little. But there's a feeling of, I just don't feel quite right. I don't feel accepted. I don't feel unconditionally loved. But we don't even know what that is. We just feel some kind of a barrier around us, right? And this fear of making a mistake or multiple mistakes. And what did I say about fear yesterday? False evidence appearing real. So that's what we do when we fear. It's not real, but it's real to us at the time. And so therefore we're feeling, I'm bad, I didn't do the right thing. And we feel that we have to listen to what everybody else is telling us is right, even if in our heart we're feeling something completely different. So that causes a lot of anxiety in young children. And so for the approval, they're going to just want to please the parent. And if pleasing the parent, and so maybe even stopping the parent from being angry, or God forbid, even hurting them, spanking them, or grabbing them by the arm, or whatever happens when we're little. I know for myself, it was a paddle. It was about the paddle with the ping pong ball attached to it, the little ball. not a ping pong ball, but it had a little ball. You could go boing, boing, boing. Well, my mother took that little ball off, and then when we did something we weren't supposed to, she'd paddle our butts with it. And I remember the fear of seeing that thing come out. It was like, oh Lord, you put your hand right on your behind because you knew what was coming. And that's very fear inducing. Now, back then, nobody looked at it as child abuse. That wasn't a thing. And I'm not saying this to, blame my mother for spanking me. I mean, I've dealt with all of that in hypnotherapy, believe me. We have to process these things that come up. Actually, the ping pong paddle didn't come up in hypno for me because it wasn't as important as the emotional wounding of feeling not good enough. So, but I don't know for you, for anybody, it's going to be similar or something different. But I know that myself, I have experienced this not only in my own training in therapy, but in conducting therapy sessions with my clients. It's very, very, very evident very quickly in the session, especially when I'm doing an age regression, which means regress to cause, where a client presents with a particular issue that they don't know where the heck it came from, and they don't know why they feel this way or why they're doing whatever the sabotaging behavior is. And an example of this is one gentleman went back to 6 years old, and he went back to being on the front porch, and his father was leaving. So he was losing his daddy. So there was a big, big abandonment issue there. Now, we don't think when we're adults that stuff even matters, or we're not thinking of it consciously, but we don't realize that it stays in the subconscious mind until it's ready to be processed. And many times, I mean, it won't come up until it's ready to be processed. It'll come out sideways in dysfunctional behavior, but it won't come up for us to really look at and address until we're ready, because then it takes a very therapeutic, loving, unconditionally safe space to process it in. And once that is done, it really changes things, and it's beautiful. Um, Another example, I had a gentleman who, in his session, actually smelled smoke. And his parents were both chain smokers, and he ended up in the hospital in an oxygen tent where he felt like he was being suffocated, that they were killing him. And so that's very difficult for a child. But processing through it and realizing, hey, it wasn't me. I'm not bad. There's nothing wrong with me. These were dysfunctional parents. And then we can process all these emotions, love the inner child, and find real, lasting, positive results from it. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is to let you know that this is what happens when these feelings and emotions are trapped deep in the subconscious mind. They're in the body too. It's in your muscle memory, your cellular memory, and in your DNA. So we really want to be cognizant of this and understand that when it does come up, it's ready to be processed, but it's very important that it's in a safe container where you're with a professional that knows what they're doing and how to help guide you through that. But the intuition starts coming up to help process, which is what leads my clients to me, where they know, oh, I really need to look at why this is happening. And then it's safe to bring that up. But see, their intuition guided them there. So I want you to think about a situation in your life. Look back and say to yourself, what voice do I hear when I doubt myself? Think about that for a minute. What voice am I hearing when I doubt myself? Is that the voice of your higher self, your oversoul, your strong adult? Or is it the voice of that wounded child, that little person who believes, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, I'll never have blah, 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 because blah, blah, blah? whatever that old patterning was. Maybe you had a parent who said, oh, you'll never amount to anything, which is what I've had many people tell me, and I'm sure you've heard that from many different sources. Or you can't do this, you can't do that. I know, I had it happen to myself, and I had to overcome that. So really, really contemplate this. And it's good to do it when you're in a safe place, maybe starting, as we talked about yesterday, with feet on the ground, in the grass, in the sand, somewhere in nature where you really can connect and ground and breathe in and breathe out. And let everything really come to a slow, steady space and place within, that small voice within. And then listen. Ask that question and listen. Your intuition will tell you. And this is something that doesn't scream and it doesn't talk quickly or loudly. So you may have to give this some time to trust that intuition if you've never done it or you've done it rarely. Really give yourself time to, weekly or daily, or maybe when you wake up in the morning, first thing, or before you go to sleep, just give yourself, as I said yesterday, 5 minutes where you allow it to just listen to that voice within. And then you can ask yourself questions like that. Who am I hearing when I doubt myself? It's very, very profound and very, very fruitful, because that intuition is going to tell you, yeah, it wasn't about you. It was never about you. It was maybe about the frustrated mother who had 5 other kids, or the father who was struggling in a career and worried that he could support his children. And the little child doesn't know that it's not their fault, because they only feel the energy that we talked about yesterday, right? Like with the horses, they feel energy. They feel presence. They only know what's happening right then and there with the energy. And you do too. And not even just as a little child, as an adult now, we feel the energy all around us, what others are emanating. And so when we start to get in touch with this, it's really a beautiful thing. It's very helpful. So give yourself some time with this and let this be a simple little practice to bring yourself back to who you really are and who's really speaking in there. In your heart, as I said yesterday, it's not even in your head, because that feeling is acceptance and love and nurturing, or the absence of. That is right here in your heart. So again, you can place your hands on your heart and breathe into your heart and out, and just ask yourself really, really sincerely, who do I hear when I doubt myself? Okay, I want everybody to really just give that some real space to work through. And I'm really looking forward to going even deeper again tomorrow, where we're going to learn basically how your intuition actually communicates with you. Okay, this is a beginning way. It's how you feel, but we're gonna kind of do this in layers to go deeper and deeper. But every day I want you to have a little practice, like we did yesterday with the deep breathing and going within and just listening. And now today, a little more of understanding, where does this come from? Where in my childhood? We're exploring, and with love, and deep acceptance and deep sincerity. Where did I want approval that I wasn't getting? And where did I have this terrible fear of making a mistake? And when did I feel I had to listen to everyone else as opposed to listening to the voice within? So you can jot these down, ask yourself these questions, and be kind to you. Be loving and kind to yourself. None of it was your fault. You only deserved love and kindness. We come here to learn lessons. We come here to work through things. This is Earth School. So just cut yourself a break and be open to loving that little child inside. We'll talk more about that too. And really, really start getting in touch with that inner voice within. It's a jewel. It's your guide. It's your everything. So, and if you want to read more about it, you can pick up my book, Horses to Higher Consciousness, Riding the Cosmic Current, and you can get this at carolynbeauchamp.com, on Amazon, on Balboa Press, lots of places. So I look forward to sharing more with you tomorrow, and thanks again to everybody for being here, for trusting me to share this information with you, and just know that your intuition rules. Listen to it. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye now.